Saturday, we will be winding up. Then next Saturday, I will give you the complete material along with question bank. Okay. If any of you are present, then remind me at the session where I paused. Don't disturb in the middle now. Okay. Anybody who has joined afterwards, hydraulics 1, hydraulics 18, then soil mechanics 3, 11, 12, 13, 14,
13 present,
16,
sir.
19, soil mechanics 13.
Sir,
Okay.
Soil mechanics 13 present, sir.
sir, 14
Right.
present. Soil mechanics.
14. Okay. Then 19, 16 soil mechanics. So in our India, we have a patent act enacted in 1970, and it was later on amended in 2006. So all the patents are covered under the Ministry of Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, which is controlled by Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So this is referred as DIPP, Department of Industries, Industrial Policy and Promotion. What is a patent? Patent is a legal right that confers monopoly to a person for his or her invention. So what are the criteria for obtaining patent? These are following criteria. First of all, it must be a new product or a process that did not previously exist. So he has to prove it. One has to prove that it is a new product or process and it has not been existing earlier. Not only within the country in which he or she is applying for patent, but anywhere else also. The same thing holds good for any software or for any algorithm or for any publication or for any derivation or proof or anything. The product comes under the category of product, scientific equipment and other devices also come under this one. That means if you have invented anything which is useful for measuring a particular parameter, then if it is of a new type and if there is an innovation in it, you can get patent for it. You can apply for patent for it. It must offer a new technical improvement, as simple changes to a previously known technique cannot be patented. The proposed invention must be useful. Patent cannot be granted for inventions that can only be used for an illegal or immoral purpose. I think I have covered this. Yeah, I think I have covered this. Yes, I have covered all these things. I have forgotten. Okay, anyhow, since I have started, I will quickly go through it. So the types of patents are utility patent. Whoever invents or discovers any new item and useful process, machine, manufacture, or composition. Then plant patents. Suppose you have combined two varieties and arrived at a new criteria, a new variety of plant. Then design project. So under the Indian patent law, patent invention must be a new product or process non-obvious, useful, and capable of industrial applications. So it must be novel. Novelty means newness. In an invention, depends upon the state of prior art, state of the art, that is existing knowledge, and similar inventions already known. So based on the similar inventions that are made in that direction earlier, the patent will be considered, or the application will be considered for granting patent. So there must be something, some information about it in the background, so that people can, I mean, the granting authority can assess whether it is a innovation or it is simply a change of something. There will be no novelty, then it will not be considered. If there has been prior publication and prior use of same or any identical invention, then also you will not get it. So in other words, the invention must involve any innovation or technology which has not been anticipated by publication in any document or used in any country, in the country or elsewhere in the world. So this is what I told. Not only in the country where he or she is applying for patent, it should not be already available at some other part of the globe. The subject matter must not have fallen in the public domain. So something which is of public interest, and if it comes in the way of public interest, then patent will not be granted. Non-obviousness. The invention must be non-obvious. That means if you say that I have invented a methodology for obtaining verifying a perfect square, whether a particular number is a perfect square or not. So if that procedure which you give is an obvious procedure, then it will not be considered for patenting. Usefulness. The invention, besides being new and non-obvious, must also be useful for the general community. There are certain exceptions. Some inventions, in spite of being new, non-obvious, and useful, cannot be patented. So what are those inventions? Inventions which are injurious to public health, or violate public morality, or public interest, or which causes serious prejudice to human, animal, or plant life, or health, or to the environment as a whole. So anything which is in the negative aspect, it is injurious to health or immoral or against public interest, so it will not be considered for patent. New method of agriculture or horticulture is non-patentable in order to have widespread benefit of such invention, rather than concentrating the commercial gain of such invention in the hands of inventor alone. See, normally, there will be some inventions by which the yield can be increased. So if you want to apply a patent for it, the government can refuse, because such an invention will help the overall community, and if a patent is given, then he will monopolize and use it only for commercial or money earning financial purpose. So in the interest of general welfare of the society and agricultural production, such items are not given, not considered for giving according patent. A process of treatment of human beings, animals and plants. And this also, because suppose if a surgeon or if a person identified a process of treatment, then if he says that it is my process, I will not allow anyone else to follow that process, then it will not be considered. On the other hand, if he invents a particular medicine or a tonic or a pill which can cure a particular disease, he can get a patent on it. Like for example, nowadays we are hearing so much about Krishnapatnam Anandaya's Ayurvedic medicine for COVID patients. So If he desires, he can definitely get a patent for it. The only is he has to prove, and it has to be, it should stand so many tests. So that is why still it is not uh, accepted by general Indian Council of Medical Research. So it has not received patent so far. Now the exceptions continue. The mere discovery of a new form of a known substance which does not result in the enhancement of the known efficiency of that substance, or the mere discovery of any new property or new use for a known substance, or of the mere use of a known process, machine, or apparatus, unless such known process results in a new product. Now, normally what happens is, if you have an equipment, or if you know a particular process, or following that process, or using that equipment, there can be certain byproducts. So those byproducts by default cannot be considered for granting patent. So only the thing is that you have to again prove that particular byproduct, whether it is a process or any production item. So it has to stand in the test like any other new inventions. Any process for medical, surgical, curative, prophylactic, diagnostic, all are related to health or other treatment of human beings, or process for a similar treatment of animals to render them free of disease or to increase their economic value or that of their products. See, under the same condition, government can refuse giving patent for any process or any equipment or any methodology. So this is another exception. Any invention which in effect is traditional knowledge, or which is an aggregation or duplication of known properties. If you add a new item in your equipment, in an existing equipment, you cannot claim to receive patent for it. The mere discovery of a scientific principle, or the formulation of an abstract theory, or the discovery of any living thing or non-living substance occurring in the nature cannot be considered for patent. See, for example, here I will tell you, all of you, perhaps you may not be knowing, Newton's laws of motion, Newton's first law, second law, third law. In fact, those three laws were copied from our old Vedic literature. They are existing in our literature. I will show you because it is interesting and it has come here. I will show that.
Sir,
Yes.
Harish adding, sir.
Harisha. I will allow. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
You see, this is the Sanskrit version. Sanyoga bhave gurutvat patanam. So that is, in the absence of samyoga, that is contact with external forces, an object falls due to gurutva, that is mass. Nodana vishesha bhava no dvara na tiryag gamanam. That means if some external impulse, nodana vishesha means external impulse is absent, an object cannot move upwards. Na urdhvam. Bhava nordhvam here. Na tiryagamanam, or backwards or sidewards. So that means the body continues to be in state of rest or motion unless otherwise it is compelled by external force. Pratna vishesha visheshaha. That is for a particular action. Pratna vishesha. Pratna means attempt. So there is a particular reaction. Nodana visheshana. How we are ignorant of what is present in our Vedas. Nodana vishesha aduddas sanivisheshaha. That means some particular reaction of an object's upward motion, udasana here, is due to special impulse. That is vishesha nodana. So all these things are available, but unfortunately we ourselves are ignorant. Okay, let us go back. A mathematical or business method or a computer program per se or algorithms or rule or method of performing mental act or method of playing games. So all these things are exceptions. They cannot be given. A presentation of an information. Yeah, already there is some information. But presenting that information cannot be considered as per patent. Topography of integrated circuits. See, integrated circuits are seen differently. So there is a lot of patent controversies on it. Then who are entitled for getting patent? Person claiming to be true and first inventor of the invention. Any person being assignee of the true and first inventor of the invention by the legal representative of any deceased person. Suppose a person is deceased. So what his legal representative can do is he can apply for patent. So the full disclosure of invention must be given. While the Act grants exclusive right to the inventor to exploit his invention for commercial gain for a specific period of time. See, anything is not perpetual. Only for certain time period it is given. It is also imposes on him the duty of fully disclosing the invention in the complete specification so as to facilitate anyone from the public working the invention once the period of protection is over. So that means he has to make it public, open. The full disclosure of the patent invention is mandatory. If this is not done, patent will not be granted. The validity of such patent, even if granted, can be contested by an opposing party. The patent can be revoked on such contest succeeding. Suppose he has not published, or he has published in a limited domain, then no objections were received. So patent is granted. Now when once patent is granted, and if someone realizes that it is not his original, then he can contest it. And if it is proved that the equipment or process or procedure or anything is not original, then the patent that is granted can be revoked. That means the patent can be cancelled. Used by central government. Though the patentee has exclusive right of use, the Act provides for the central government to use any invention even without paying the royalty to the inventor. Now, this all depends upon the situations under which um, a process or an equipment or a methodology which has been granted by the government to an individual can be used by itself, even without paying any royalty. The central government can acquire the patent from the patentee or any other person having interest in the patentee by paying the compensation in public interest. So, there what happens is the patent is given, and for some time, suppose the patentee enjoys the benefits. Then, if the central government realizes that in the general interest of the community, in the general interest of the society, or in the general public interest, it should not be commercialized, then what the government can do is the government can pay something compensation and take back that patent, and the government itself can run it or use it or offer it. There are certain cases where restricted use of patent invention also is applicable. Such use by a person other than the patentee is permissible. For instance, use of patented invention is permissible for research or experimental process purposes, or for imparting knowledge or instructions to pupils. Now, suppose I have developed an algorithm which is useful in the general research community. So then what what instructions will be given or conditions will be put in the patent granting letter is that whenever any other researcher or any other academician or any other person interested in the use of it for pure research purpose or for academic purpose, it has to be allowed. So that type of riders are also there while patents are granted. Now, what happens if the patents are infringed? That means if you violate, used by a person other than the patentee or his assignee or licensee would be an infringement of the patent. Civil remedy is filing, simple remedy is filing a suit in a court of competent jurisdiction. So that means you can, if you are having a patent for a particular thing, and if someone violates that and uses it, then you can file a suit in the court of law. Plaintiff, on satisfying the court about the infringement, would be entitled to the following reliefs: interlocutory injunction, damages, or account of profits. So suppose I have got a patent and some X has violated it, and if the court satisfies that it is an infringement, then immediately it can give an injunction preventing the accused for using that process or equipment or whatever it is. And it can also award on the accused to pay certain damages to the plaintiff. Or it can also seize the accounts of all profits enjoyed by the accused. When the subject matter of patent is a process for obtaining a product, the onus is on the defendant to prove that the process used by him is different from the patented process. And the subject matter of patent is a process for obtaining a product. Now, the product may be already existing, but it is existing or it is produced by some other method or some other process. Now, what you have done is you have invented a new process. Forget about it whether it is economically viable or not, but it is a new process. So, when you are applying for patent your process for obtaining a product which is already existing or a similar product. Now, the defendant, that means you, have to prove that the process used by you is different from the already patented process. So, there may be a patented process for producing a product. Now you are applying another patent, applying for a patent for another process for producing the same product. So that means there are two processes. One process is already existing and the one is you are now proposing. Now it is your obligation to prove that your process is different from the already patented process. A suit as any grievance relating to infringement of patent may be instituted in a court not inferior to a district court. So that means the minimum level is a district court. But where a counterclaim for revocation of the patent is made by the defendant, the suit along with the counterclaim shall be transferred to a higher court. That means you can file a suit in a district court against someone who has violated your patent. But when there is a counterclaim on the revocation, that means now the district court has given its accord saying that yes, it is an infringement. Now suppose the person who has been accused for infringement, if he wants to challenge it, then he has to go to the higher court. This is natural. This is normally whenever at a lower court a suit is withheld or acquitted, then appeal can be done only in a higher court but not in a lower court. The reliefs which a court may grant include an injunction and either damages. This already I told you. Any act of making, constructing, using or selling a patented invention solely for uses reasonably related to the development of and submission of information required under any law and importation of patented products by any person from a person who is duly authorized by the patentee to sell or distribute shall not be construed as an infringement. Okay. Now, what the meaning of this thing is? Suppose there is a patent. Now, that patented item yes, that patented item or the byproduct is what I should use the word. Okay. Any person got from the person who got a patent on a particular item, so he can distribute it. Suppose I will tell you one simple example. There are certain spare parts. There are certain spare parts for a particular machine. Now, a company or an individual got patent for manufacturing those spare parts. Then those spare parts he can produce by himself, or he can allow someone else to produce. Now, up to production stage, it is patented. Now, beyond that, for distribution of it or for use of that spare part, there is no restriction. So that is what is the main meaning of this particular statement. So that means there is a difference between patent and a trademark. For trademarks, again, the Act is in 1999 and was amended in 2010. Same, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, but it is Department of, I think, for a business, normally this is applicable for the business or for products which are normally commercially distributed. So for a business, its trademark is among its most valuable assets. The company's trademark protects its distinctive sign or indicator. So you have seen so many logos, Wipro, Satyam, Infosys, Symbiosis, all like that. Even our JNTU, we have a logo. Andhra University, we have a logo. Various universities, they have logos. Various institutes, they have logos. And then companies like Puma or Amazon or anything, they also have some logos and symbols. So all these things they come under trademark. So nobody can use that symbol. Nobody can use that logo to market their products. So a trademark will give a brand value for that. So symbol or logo or word or phrase or name, sound or design or an image that symbolizes the brand value or goodwill associated with the business or its product and services. Indian trademarks are registered under Federal Registration System with the support of 5 regional offices. The offices are in Ahmedabad, Chennai, Delhi, Kolkata and Mumbai. So only these 5 offices can give you the trademark. So the procedure for obtaining the trademark. Conduct a trademark search. To identify a completely original trademark, you may refer to the National Trademark Database online. See, there is a database. All trademarks are in that. So you search for it first of all and confirm that the one which you are using is different from the existing one. Then file the application for the trademark registration along with the prescribed fees. Once the mark is registered, the trademarks registry sends the official examination report asking for clarifications, if any, in accordance with the Act. After the application is accepted, it is published in the trademarks journal. There is a journal. So it is a government publication to call upon opposition from the general public. See, normally people will expect that the information is available in the newspapers. No, it will not be. It will be available only in the trademark journal published by the government. If the application is not opposed within 4 months, then the registration is granted. In case of opposition, registration is granted only after the case is resolved. After all due consideration is made, an official letter limiting the acceptance of the application along with the trademark certificate is issued by the trademark registry. The whole process takes about 15 to 18 months. The trademark is valid for 10 years, starting from the date of issue of the certificate. It can be renewed for another 10 years on the payment of prescribed fees. So, we have seen patents, trademarks, then copyright. So, copyright comes under Ministry of Human Resource Development, HRD. So, India has a very strong and comprehensive copyright law based on the Indian Copyright Act 1957, compatible with international norms. These are the conventions: Berne Convention, then TRIPS, Trade-Related Aspects of Intellectual Property Rights Agreement, then WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, and World Copyright Treaty. So a copyright grants the executive right to the creator to control reproduction or adaptation of his or her work for a certain period of time. So this is similar to your patents. The only thing is these copyrights are, they cover mostly the non-commercial aspects. Unlike trademarks, here the difference I am showing. Unlike trademarks and patents, a copyright protects the unique expression of ideas and not the idea itself. Copyright registration cannot be obtained for titles or names, short word combinations, slogans, short phrases, as these can only be trademarked. So, all these things can be trademarks but not copyright. Under the Indian Copyright Act, a copyright exists in original literary, dramatics, musical, and artistic work, cinematography, and sound recordings. Coming to literary works, novels, poems, short stories, books on any subject, your technical papers, your textbooks, computer programming, songs, lyrics, computer software. So all these things come under Copyright Act. So a copyright is sanctioned to prevent others from, that means if you have a copyright, then what you enjoy? Nobody can copy or reproduce the work in any form, such as print or video or audio, publishing and recording of the work commercially, or trademark registration procedure. Now, suppose somehow he got some information about what you have done, and then using that, he can produce and he cannot get a trademark registered on it. Renting or lending the work in a free market. Normally, this comes under the video piracy. What they do, they produce pirated videos and then market. Broadcasting the work in various forms. Now, this we have seen. There are some information that is being posted in Twitter. So, people, what they are doing, they are distributing that information, either directly or changing something, then translating it to other languages. That is also not accepted. Now, what is the procedure for this copyright registration procedure? acquisition of copyright does not require formal registration in India. However, it is advisable to obtain a certificate of registration of the copyright. The certificate and the entries made therein can serve as an evidence in a court of law if a dispute relating to the ownership of copyright arises. See, this is the most unfortunate thing. That is why all the videos are being pirated. Similarly, the musical bits, tunes from one language to other, people are pirating or copying. So earlier, all these things were not restricted. But later on, of course, restrictions have come and the copyright registration has been made mandatory also. So the procedure is file the application with the complete details and copies of the work. Similar procedure. You have to apply and then there will be an examination and there will be an information asking for any objections, and then based on the objections received or not, a certificate will be issued, and that also for a certain period. See, these are the things. Copyright generally given to creators for their novels, poems, plays, references, newspapers, films, paintings, musical compositions, choreographic compositions, computer programs, databases, and your algorithms or your derivations or your processes, whatever it is. So basically all these things are related to your brain's outcome, your intellectual property outcome. That is why they are listed under copyright rather than trademarks. Trademarks only for the products which are commercial, which can be marketed, distributed. Now, let us see what is the difference between a registered and an unregistered intellectual property. Unregistered intellectual property automatically have legal rights over your creation, and you can have a copyright and unregistered design right, common law trademarks, database rights, confidential information, and trade secrets. So you can have all these things, but they can be unregistered also. But registered means you have to apply and then get it. Patenting and development. International scenario is the international corp. See, registered IPs come under the international scenario. Unregistered IPs, they do not come under international laws. They are not governed by international laws. So we have an IP authority in India. And this is the process. The flowchart here gives the IP process, intellectual property, patenting, or intellectual property patenting process. So first, establish priority date of patent application. So first of all, you have to apply for getting a date for submitting your application. That means there you have to give information about what type of patent you are expecting and what is the field and what is there. There will be certain, a form will be there and some general information will be asked. So based upon that, they will give you a date. The authority will give you a date on which you can file your application. So that application is referred here as 101. So, file patent application in the intellectual property IP office. Then, so along with this, they will mention a date. They will allow a date, or they themselves will publish it. So, what you can do is, if you want to receive your patent early, then what you can request is, request the authority to make an early publication of the thing. So it is optional. If you want, you can opt for it. So, has already publication request been filed? Yes, suppose it is filed. So publish the patent application. Otherwise, also it is allowed, but with a time difference. So the time difference is from the start of your first application to the publication, it is 18 months. But if you have filed for an early publication, then before that time, any time, patent can be published. Without their approval, you cannot publish it in the public domain. Then once this is there, then you have to apply for examination. So this is the first part. This is the first stage. So once it is published, you can apply between 18 to 48 months, any time. Asking the patent or the appropriate authority for examination. That means you invite them for examining the product or the process, whatever it is. So then it is done. Examination is done. Then is the patent application in order for a grant? So they will verify your application and see whether it is in order or not. Then after examination, they will issue a report, examination report. A committee will come, or you may be asked to present before a committee, and the committee will examine. So after this, suppose they have put on queries. The examination report, the members ask you for certain clarifications. So you have to submit a compliance report on the examination report. So respond. This is the submission of your compliance report. And then you have to send it back for the clarifications given by you for inspection and to take a decision on whether to issue or reject the patent. So from this time to this time, it is 12 months. So after the examination report is released or given, either without any queries or with any queries, from that date, within 1 year, they have to either grant or reject. So this is the general process. So what is minimum time? The minimum time here is 18 months. All right, okay. 48 months here, and then this all depends upon various factors. Though this is not sure, but this is 1 year, the maximum time. So that means 4 years and 1 year, 5 years. But all these procedures can be cut short by alternative methods also. So, but this is the actual timeline. Now, 1 minute. Copyright of works of the countries mentioned in the International Copyright Order are protected in India as if such works are Indian works. So that means certain products or certain items, if they have a copyright elsewhere, and if that in any other country, and that country is a member of the organization, automatically that will be considered in our country also as having patent or copyright. Copyright of nationals of countries who are members of the Berne Convention for the Protection of Literary and Artistic Works, Universal Copyright Convention, and TRIPS Agreement are protected in India through international law. So there are so many countries. So compulsory license under Paris Convention. So Paris Convention is an international convention for promoting trade among the member countries, devised to facilitate protection of industrial property simultaneously in the member countries without any loss in the priority date. So that means if someone wants their product to be marketed or to be distributed globally, then compulsory license under Paris Convention is to be obtained. All the member countries provide national treatment to all the applications from other member countries. So that means from other countries, if application is received, then that application will be considered as if it is of our national application. The convention was first signed in 1883, way back, revised several times, 1900 in Brussels, 1911 Washington, 1925 The Hague, 34 London, 58 Lisbon, 67 Stockholm, and the last amendment was in 1979. And we became member of Paris Convention on 7th December of 1998. So till then, we were not covered under compulsory licensing. That means our patents or our copyrights are not honored in other countries prior to that date. Similarly, prior to that date, the inventions or copyrights are of people from other countries. They are not honored by our country. Right of property, priority, independence of patents, parallel importation, protection against false indications, and unfair competition. So, all things are treated as national. So, even though our patents or our copyrights are violated in other countries, which are member countries of this Paris Convention. So, whatever law says for the infringement, that will be applied. Although that particular item is not patented in the other country. It is patented or copyrighted in our country, but is used by someone else in some other country. Because these two nations are, are members of the Paris Convention, so it will be treated as on par. So there are some important articles in Paris Convention. Article 5A. Under this articles, the actions are taken. Article 5A, Clause 2, permits members of Paris Union to take legislative measures for the grant of compulsory licenses to prevent the abuses which might result from the exercise of exclusive rights conferred by the product. Similarly, Article 5A, Clause 3, persistent inaction on the part of the patent holder may even be remedied by forfeiture of the patent right, but not before the expiration of 2 years from the grant of first compulsory. Now, what is this? A person is having a patent and on that particular patent, if there is no action, so then what the clause says is that the patent right can be cancelled, but not before 2 years. So normally it is granted for 10 years or 20 years as per the Act. So if no action is taken by the patent holder in that direction, then it can cancel. And Article 5A, Clause 4, however, insufficient working shall not be result in compulsory license before the expiration of period of 4 years from the date of filing of patent application or 3 years from the date of grant of patent. So, suppose that 4 years period is over, there is no response from the applicant, then automatically it can be the patent need not be, the application need not be considered for granting patent. Similarly, when once it is granted, patent is granted, then 3 years is the period. Then patent holder is allowed to justify his inactions by legitimate reasons stemming from the existence of legal, economic, technical obstacles to exploitation or more intensive exploitation of patent in the country. So he has to give an explanation why there is no inaction. Excuse me, I will come back. Like the Paris Treaty, compulsory license under Paris Treaty, we also have compulsory license under TRIPS, that is trade-related aspects of intellectual property rights. TRIPS stands for this, the expansion of it. Abbreviation of TRIPS is this. Trade-related aspects, this T R I P S, last yes. So it is an international agreement. Administered by the World Trade Organization that sets down minimum standards for many forms of IP regulations. So this is all history. 1994 is the first time it started. GATT, it is called as General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. So then that GATT was now referred as WTO, World Trading Organization. So these are the highlights of the TRIPS agreement. TRIPS agreement introduced IP law into international trading system for the first time and remains the most comprehensive international agreement on intellectual property to date. According to this agreement, patent protection must be available for inventions for at least 20 years. Patent protection must be available for both products and processes in almost all fields of technology. Governments can refuse to issue a patent for an invention if it is commercial exploitation. If it's commercial exploitation is prohibited for reasons of public order. Can also exclude these things: diagnostic, therapy, anything related to health and general welfare. Now, under this, there is an additional thing is that any person can apply for intellectual property rights in any other country also. Those who have signed those treaties, these 123 countries. So these members of these 123 countries need not apply in their own country, but in any country also they can apply, and it will be covered by all these 123 countries. It describes minimum rights that a patent owner must enjoy, but it also allows certain exceptions. A patent owner could abuse his rights, for example, by failing to supply the product on the market. Now, he is given a patent for a particular product, and that product is sought by many people, and he fails to supply that product, produce that product in the market. So naturally, the general interest of the society is hampered. So therefore, that patent can be withdrawn so that someone else will start producing it. To deal with that possibility, the agreement says governments can issue compulsory licenses for allowing a competitor to produce the product or use the process under license. So that means now you are enjoying a patent for a particular process or a product. Now what happens? The government has found that you are not meeting the requirements of the general community. So then what the government can do? It can identify, or when approached by some other competitor, can grant license, and that is called as a compulsory license. Although such a patent is being issued to one person already, but that compulsory license is issued to his competitor so as to safeguard the interests of the society. So this comes under Article 31. But this can only be done under certain conditions aimed at safeguarding the legitimate interests of the patent holder. So there are certain litigations or legal aspects also in this. IP rights are not inherently valuable. Their value is the strategic advantage gained by excluding others from using the intellectual property. To be valuable, your exclusionary rights should be strategically aligned with your business objectives. So, you may ask me, what is the advantage I got by having IP? There is no advantage unless otherwise you link it with your business and make financial output from it. There are certain issues that are affecting IP internationally. The IP has received increasing attention in the arena of international economic policy. Industrial nations have placed this policy in the agenda of Uruguay round of GATT, advocating that GATT members exchange access to patent and copyright protection for each other, similar to the exchange of access to the domestic goods market. See, normally, in international scenario, trading is done for many products. The products may be cosmetics, or the products may be garments, or the products may be electronic equipment, or anything. So normally, they have an understanding for trade and commerce between two countries. So a product produced by one country can be exported to another country, or another country can import that one. So like that, there is a free exchange of marketing strategies. Now our intellectual property also can be considered as a product of having international exchange. So that is what the GATT has spelled out. The objective is to extend international recognition of IP beyond the countries which currently adhere to the Paris Convention on Patents and Berne Convention on Copyrights, to embrace near global group of GATT members. But what happens here is, when once such a free trade of intellectual ideas is permitted, then what happens is, the developed nations, they have an advantage, they have an edge, because already they have progressed and many processes and many products are having intellectual property rights. So that what happens is, the developing countries' interests and their marketing will go down. So some developing countries, in resisting in such a policy, argue that an extension of international IPR would harm their own technological progress, because already a thing is there. So now you cannot proceed in that direction. Your technological research, or whatever you call, will be slowed down, and they should continue to be free to opt out of partial system of international IPRs. So that is the objection of many of the developing countries. So issues affecting the IP internationally, they continue. International coverage was argued to prevent piracy, broadening the rewards to inventive activity, or providing a good international business climate in general. Firms might not wish to locate in countries where their technological or market advantages are easily copied. So that is there. They are afraid that if they establish their factory or industry in a country, then naturally local workers or local scientists or local technicians are to be employed. So they are afraid that the process is copied, and therefore what they do is, they keep their product or process in their own country and only enjoy the right in other countries. So that is again against the interest of the developing countries. Contrary to the above argument, it is counter-argued that while free trade generally increases the degree of competition in the international market, extension of IPRs implies that firms possessing domestic monopoly power in the use of particular idea can more easily extend that monopoly power overseas. So they have a monopoly. That is the reason why the upcoming nations are afraid. The exercise of international IPRs is thus primarily the province of multinational firms rather than the atomistic units assumed in much trade theory. Although it is aimed for the overall development, but it is mainly for the benefit of the already developed nations. So that is another disadvantage of that international IPR. Although there is some theoretical and descriptive work on the role of intellectual property in the multinational firm, there is little direct empirical evidence on either the extent to which international flows of trade and investment are influenced by the international patterns of IPRs under the status quo or the role which nations about. See, what is the meaning of this statement? The meaning of this statement is everything appears to be fine on paper. So, accepting our intellectual property in other countries and in other countries' IP in our country, like that. But there is no well-established proof that they are leading to overall development globally, or whether they are allowing the nations, developing nations, to come up. So it's only a theoretical understanding. So here are some international laws. So you can just go through them. Then we have our industrial designs. Okay, industrial designs. Yes, I think this is the. Okay. Again, it is coming back. Okay. Yeah, this is what. Okay, we have. Let me cover this. So the Industrial Design Act has come in 2000. And again, it is under DIPP, Ministry of Commerce. Requirements for an industrial design to be registered. The design should relate to the features of shape, configuration, pattern or ornament, composition of lines or colors or both, as applied to an article, or an equipment, or an instrument, or a feature. An article may be two-dimensional or three-dimensional. Either it may be a simple decorative piece or a working model. So all these things come under industrial design. That is a design to produce that. The number of steps to be followed in obtaining the final output. So that process is called the industrial design process. So that should be then should have been applied to the article by any industrial process. So now, before granting that right for that industrial design, it must be applied to any industry, by any industry. And then it should be approved that it is a working design. So then only it will be granted. Must be new or original, not previously published or used in any country prior to the date of filing for registration. These are all obvious features. Should not be linked to any functional feature of the article. That means it is not that the design interacts with whatever functional aspect of the article, then changes. No, it must be a complete foolproof process. Should not include any trademark or property mark or artistic works. No, now you have a design. In that design, you may use certain products. So those products should not have trademark. So if they have trademark, means that you have to get permission from the trademark holder for using it as one of the steps in your process design. So that is the limitation. So the procedure is similar. Submit the documents for registration. Along with 4 copies of the representation of the design for 2-dimensional representation, 33 centimeters by 25 centimeters, depicting all features of the design. That means a picture or a product or an image, and that should give the design all various views. Submit the application to the design wing of the patent office in Kolkata or other branches, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai. After the application is numbered, dated, and taken up for examination, defects, if any, will be communicated. Defects must be corrected within 6 months. And if the control is not satisfied with the correction, a personal hearing will take place and the decision will be given in writing. If the applicant is not satisfied with the decision, they may appeal to the higher court within 3 months. Once the application is accepted, it is notified in the patent office journal and is valid for a period of 10 years. Okay. And it may be extended by 5 years by filling an application for renewal. Okay. So these are the things about your industrial design. Now, so I think for today, we will stop here, and almost we have covered everything. What is left is geographical indications. This from this onwards, we have to cover. And then I think there is one more topic. Yeah, this one, new developments in IPR. This, of course, we have already covered. That's all. So these two things we have to finish. So next Saturday, we'll finish this. So with this, the entire syllabus will be over. Before last class. So that is our last class is on 19th. So sometime next week I will compile everything and I will mail to your group ID, group mail ID. And the question bank also I will give. Okay. So for today, I think we'll close it. And you can give me feedback and which also gives the verification